my life, and all my family is from Colombia, South America. A Latin fiesta is unique because Latinos are easygoing, love making new friends, we are happy and chatty people. In a Latino fiesta, you will find festive music, good food, colorful decoration, piñatas, and a huge and growing list of guests. This is a rooted tradition, very alive and full of energy from the beginning to the end. Here are some characteristics of a typical Latin fiesta. Number one, never, never, ever arrive early. In the Latin world, you must arrive at least 20 minutes after the indicated time. And if you dare to arrive on time, you will surely be the first one. Nor even the host will be ready. So you will have to help serve the food, take out chairs and tables, or even watch the kids. And you might have to do that for the rest of the party. Number two, if you are not well dressed, don't go. Even if it is a Saturday afternoon barbecue or a birthday party, your clothes should be always clean and ironed, your shoes shiny, and the women with well-made-up faces. Number three, you have to eat, converse, and dance. In a regular party, if you do not feel like socializing, you just go to a corner of the house, sit down, take out your phone, and no one will bother you. But in our meetings, no matter how hard you try to hide, someone will find you. They will bring you some cheese sandwiches or a plate full of beans, meat, rice, tortillas, arepas, the best fruit drink you have ever tasted, and they will start a conversation whether you like it or not. From the dance in the dining room transform into a dance floor. Number four, Latin fiestas don't have an ending time. Unlike the parties you might be used to, where you specify a starting time and an ending time, we don't think the fun has a deadline. And just saying goodbye can take you an hour or more. Also, you will be lucky if you which means coffee, at the end of the night. Maybe, you will be able to start making your way back to your house at midnight. Or maybe not, but one thing is for sure, you will definitely. So let's get this party started. The SBA Middle School Band will kick things off with Latin Fiesta, which combines two well-known Latin classics. The majestic opening is based on the folk tune of Granada, followed by the driving Latin strains of El Cumbanchero. We welcome you to our Latin Fiesta. En estos momentos, la banda de Middle School de SBA abrirá el concierto con una obra musical titulada Latin Fiesta, la cual combina dos conocidos clásicos latinos. La majestuosa abertura de esta pieza se basa en la música folclórica de Granada, seguida de las influencias latinas del cumbanchero. Sean todos bienvenidos a nuestra
Berrios, Argentina. I came here as a young child and have lived here most of my life. But when you talk to my parents, they sound like these. The tango originated in late 19th century Buenos Aires and has become popular around the world due to its driving rhythms, its distinctive sound, and the passionate dance steps it inspires. Here is the tango argentino. El tango se originó a finales del siglo XIX en Buenos Aires, Argentina. Se ha popularizado alrededor de todo el mundo debido a su ritmo, sonido distintivo y el apasionado baile que inspira. Con ustedes, el tango argentino.
Good evening. I promise you I will not be doing any Spanish speaking tonight. I have a hard enough time with English, obviously, and I've never taken a foreign language class. I grew up in the Ozarks of Missouri. Most of my life I've said wash instead of wash. I can say now wash. And I also grew up saying tortilla and sopapilla and things like that. So we'll just leave it at that. But I have some important stuff to take care of tonight. A few thank yous and a few recognitions. The first group of people I'd like to thank is our lesson teachers. I'm pretty sure we set a record this year at Spring Valley with the most lessons ever in the band department being taught. We average 75 lessons a week. That's about $250 a month, and that would be 2,250 lessons for this school year, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. I thank you, the parents that support those lessons. The only thing I am sad about is where those lessons often take place, in the stairwell, in the weight room. Today we had our first lesson ever in the copy machine room. So hopefully you guys can, that'll encourage us to keep going for phase 2 and phase 3 of the new Performing Arts Center, so we can get some better practice facilities. But thank you, parents, for seeing the value in lessons, and we'd like to take the time to thank our lesson teachers tonight. So I will read our lesson teachers. When I do, please come up. We have a little token of our appreciation for our lesson teachers. I'll read the list, and then I'll pass out the thank yous. Rich Beagle, Norland Bewley, Hannah Church, David Diamond, Gretchen German, Cece Grizel, Connie Ignatio, Haley Kindle, Elizabeth Procopio, and Shannon Young. Next, I'm going to recognize our students in the middle school band that have achieved what was expected of them practice-wise. But before we do that, something that's been on my mind the last couple months is something that I wanted to convey to you, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Essentially, I want to get on my soapbox for a minute about practicing. My approach to our requirements in middle school band is this. We basically practice for 35 to 40 minutes twice a week. Okay, so they get that amount of playing time. Besides that, I figure they need to play at least 30 minutes twice a week, which would be a total of 2 hours a week, just to be able to maintain any level of playability on their instruments. So I think really 2 hours a week on your horn is really the minimum to be able to do what we do. And that's what I pretty much require. So I'll be recognizing all those students that have met that minimum. What that minimum looks like is 1,500 minutes for the year, or 25 hours of total practice time. That may kind of sound like a lot, but really it's not that much. And that's what I wanted to get to next, is this. If you help push that 25 hours, or that basically an hour at home, an hour and 10 minutes at school a week, we can do some good things. We'll have good bands, the program will thrive, and so on. But if you want your instrumentalist, or if you want to be great, if you want to go to that upper level, you need to play every day. If you're taking private lessons, you really need to try to play every day. I'm not going to give you an exact amount of time, but I guarantee you that there are students that are in their master's programs or their undergrad programs on music performance, and they'll do 25 hours in a week. All right, in a week, where we're looking at that for a year. So just let's compare apples and oranges and just make sure we're clear. If you get that 60 minutes in a week, that's not going to get to that top tier. So just so we're clear on that. And if you really want that, start thinking about trying to play every day. And if you play every day, I guarantee you it won't be just 15 minutes. It'll probably be 30. It'll probably be 45. It'll probably be 50. And if you're taking lessons, you know your lesson teacher will push you and you'll do great things. So just want to make sure that what we're praising tonight and accepting, which is good, is still here. And if you want that grade level, that's a whole other ballgame. Are we clear on that? That makes sense? I want to make sure we're all clear on that. So again, for these students, when they came in tonight, there was a practice certificate award on their chair along with a giant symphony candy bar. We're going to do it by grade, so these students all, on a regular basis, turn in their practice sheets and reach the 1,500-minute mark for the year. So 6th grade, when I call your name, all of 6th grade stay standing until we get to the end of 6th grade, and then you can applaud. All right, 6th grade, Ellie Bose, Ava Guria, Noah Hahn, Gisela Harder, Janie Johnson, Levi Martone, Isaac Scanlon, Sophia Schradell, Noah Statz, and Gracie Wilkins. From 7th grade, Mark Backus, Isaac Collier-Freed, Alexis Doolin, Joshua Manus, Matthew Miller, Jacob Muget, Miguel, Vivian Reeves, Ellie Sauser, Nathaniel Scanlon, Samantha Schneider, Becca Schull, Jacob Schull, Megan Schull, and Jaden Vandereed. Eighth grade, Ethan Church, Adrian Helm, Allie McCoy, Brandon McDowell, Matthew Milks, and Shane Price.
Good evening. My mother was born in Argentina with the name Inés Soto, and my father from Mexico, Armando Vargas. They met in California, and I was blessed to be able to grow up with a variety of cultures, both Argentinian and Mexican, and you're going to hear a lot of that music tonight. Based on the musical styles of Old Mexico, here's Mexicali Brass by John Cacabas. El Mexicali Brass de John Cacabas está basado en los estilos musicales del México antiguo.
Good evening. I am Amy Ortiz Moreta, and I was born on a warm August afternoon A tropical, warm August afternoon in the Bronx, New York City. That's where I was born. My parents are both from Puerto Rico, born and raised, but they decided to go to school here. They both graduated from Atlantic Union College and make a life here. So I was born and raised here. Tonight, we are going to be, our next song is Junkyard Jam. Much of the history of musical instruments involves human ingenuity to manipulate available materials that are often inexpensive and considered to be useless or even garbage by some. For example, steel drums were originally fashioned from discarded oil drums. This next piece uses buckets and cans originally used in the urban go-go style, characterized by a fast triple feel common in hip-hop music. Go-go drummers are often street performers found in large cities outside of sporting arenas and other events. Junkyard Jam begins and ends in a driving rock style, while the middle section uses a basic tumbao conga rhythm that is as well as a typical bass pattern used in the cha-cha and other Afro-Cuban styles.
Me llamo señora Maurosa. My name is Jacqueline Maurosa, and I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. My entire family is from Puerto Rico, and my heritage can be traced to the island from several generations. All of my family is still in Puerto Rico. I am the only one here. En Spanish. Mucha de la historia de los instrumentos musicales incluye la ingenuidad humana de manipular los materiales disponibles que frecuentemente son baratos y considerados inútiles o basura por muchos. Por ejemplo, los tambores de acero fueron creados originalmente de los recipientes de aceite que se descartaban como basura. Esta siguiente pieza usa baldes y latas que se usan originalmente en el estilo go-go urbano, caracterizado por el triple y rápido sentimiento producido por la música hip hop. Los percusionistas de la música go-go son usualmente personas que tocan en las calles de las grandes ciudades, afuera de los establecimientos deportivos y en otros eventos. El Junkyard Jam empieza y termina en un estilo rock, pero la sección media usa un tumbao básico a ritmo de conga, tanto como un patrón de bajo usado en el cha-cha y otros estilos afrocubanos. Con ustedes, el Junkyard Jam.
has a rich history and culture. Music, such as villanciosos and the flamenco guitar style, originated in this beautiful land. Cantaré, cantarás, which means I will sing, you will sing, is a choral piece that has been written and performed as a benefit for the third world children. This anthem is an inspirational tribute to the power of music. We will shine like the sun, for we all have a dream. Including text in both English and Spanish, this is a cross-cultural selection with an important message for people everywhere. Cantaré, cantarás will be performed by the 7th and 8th grade choir.
España tiene una cultura e historia muy rica. Música como los villancicos y guitarra flamenca se originaron en esta hermosa tierra. Cantaré, cantarás, lo cual traduce en inglés I will sing, you will sing. Es una pieza coral que se escribió, que se ha tocado para beneficio de los niños del tercer mundo. Este himno es un tributo de la inspiración del poder de la música. Brillaremos como el sol porque todos tenemos un sueño. Incluyendo la letra en inglés y en español, esta selección transcultural tiene un mensaje importante para las personas de todas partes. Con ustedes, cantaré, cantarás.
¿Cuánto puedo dar? Solo sé cantar y para ti es mi canto y mi voz junto a los demás en la inmensidad están escuchando.
My name is Ana Kepke. I was born and raised in Brazil, and my family and I moved to the United States, specifically the Chicago area, in the year 2000, and we came to Dayton in 2011. And we love it here, especially when it's warm. Só Danço Samba is considered a jazz standard along with one-note samba. The samba is a dance from Brazil made famous musically in the 1960s by João Gilberto, Antônio Carlos Jobim, and Luiz Bonfá. Stylistically, a samba should be rhythmic, but relaxed and never hurried. Many of the notes are off the beat, syncopated, which helps the melody to float along. Here is Só Danço Samba, performed by the Honors Choir. Só Danço Samba é considerado um padrão de jazz junto com One Note Samba. O samba é uma dança do Brasil que ficou famosa musicalmente na década de 1960 por João Gilberto, Antônio Carlos Jobim e Luiz Bonfá. Estilisticamente, um samba deveria ser ritmado, mas relaxado e nunca apressado. Muitas das notas são off the beat, sincopadas, que ajudam a melodia a flutuar. Aqui é Só Danço Samba, interpretado pelo coro de honras.
Só danço samba, só danço samba, vai, 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 vai. Só danço samba, só danço samba, vai. Só danço samba, vai, 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 vai. Só danço samba, vai. Eu não sei o que já tem demais, mas não sei, me cansei do calypso, cha cha cha. Só danço samba, vai, 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 vai. Só danço samba, vai. The jazz and samba, hear it all around. The jazz and samba sound. The jazz and samba, swinging soft and low. The jazz and samba, go. Jet from Rio, non-stop USA. This new sound came one day, and it's clear that it's here to stay. It's jazz and samba, it's so refreshing, like a new perfume. It's jazz and samba, it's jazz and samba. Do 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 do. Jet from Rio, non-stop USA. This new sound came one day, and it's clear that it's here to stay. It's jazz and samba, it's so refreshing, like a new perfume. It's jazz and samba, it's jazz and samba. So danço samba, vai, 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 vai. So danço samba, vai.
My name is Raul Omar Concha Obregón. I was born in Chile. My mother was born in Argentina, in Puigari, and then went to Chile, married my father, and then they have 4 kids. I'm the oldest of 4, 3 boys and a girl, and I came to the United States in 1986. Perform with a fun spirit that continues to gain momentum until the final measure, the freshness of Oye will come to life. Each time the refrain Oye is sung, there should be a crescendo of tempo, of enthusiasm, and of rhythmic intensity. This song was inspired by children in Mexico who participated in a composing workshop with Jim Papolas, the composer of this choral work. The children wanted to convey the message that they hope their voices are listened to, heard. The translation of the title Oye is listen. Here is Oye, performed by the middle school choir. Caracterizado por un espíritu divertido que continúa llegando al clímax hasta el final, la frescura de esta pieza coral Oye es única. Cada vez que el coro Oye es cantado, debe ser un crescendo de tiempo, entusiasmo e intensidad rítmica. Esta canción fue inspirada por los niños de México, quienes participaron en un taller de composición con Jim Papoulis, el compositor de esta pieza coral. Los niños querían dar el mensaje de que sus voces fueran escuchadas. La traducción de Oye al inglés es listen, y a continuación esta será interpretada por todos los coros de middle school.
Estás solo, llorando en silencio, en la oscuridad. Estás soñando, deseando, con esperanza.
Hi, my name is Rilma Villegas. I was born and raised in Florida. Both parents are from Cuba, originally from Cuba. My dad from Pinar del Rio, and my mother from Camagüey. I studied abroad in my college years, and I lived a total of 8 years in Costa Rica, and have a mixed family, international family, so Costa Rica and Cuban. The SVA beginning band will first present Fiesta Fantasy, an original composition written in a cha-cha-cha style. This rhythm is derived from the early Cuban danzón mambo style. It was created in Havana, Cuba, during the 1950s by violinist Enrique Jorín, who named this style upon hearing the scraping sounds of dancers' feet. Fiesta Fantasy. La banda de Spring Valley Academy presentará primero Fiesta de Fantasía, una composición originalmente escrita en el estilo cha-cha-cha. Este ritmo se deriva del estilo mambo danzón cubano, el cual fue creado en La Habana, Cuba, durante los 50 por el violinista Enrique Jorín, quien nombró el estilo cuando escuchó el sonido de los pies de los bailarines. Fiesta Fantasía.
Joropo is based on a musical dance style having African and European influences originating in Venezuela. Joropo takes place on a hot afternoon in Venezuelan market as you browse through the fresh produce and crafts from locals. Joropo se basa en un estilo de baile musical que tiene influencia africana y europea, originado en Venezuela. Tuvo lugar en una tarde caliente en un mercado de Venezuela, cuando las personas buscaban los productos frescos y las artesanías locales. Con ustedes, Joropo.
Mama Paquita is a very popular traditional Brazilian folk song. Although it is popular year-round, it is most associated with carnival activities. It's carnival time. Mama Paquita é uma canção folclórica tradicional brasileira muito popular. Embora seja popular o ano todo, é mais associado às atividades de carnaval. É hora do carnaval.
Folk song. The coqui is a small tree frog unique to Puerto Rico and is a symbol of this beautiful island located in the Caribbean Sea. Only the male coqui sings, and they have been measured at 90 to 100 decibels, making them the loudest existing amphibian. It's very fitting that the coqui is the Puerto Rican national symbol. El coquí es una canción popular puertorriqueña. El coquí es el nombre de una pequeña rana única de Puerto Rico y es un símbolo de esta hermosa nación ubicada en el Mar Caribe. Escucha mientras la rana canta su famosa llamada nocturna coquí, coquí.
I keep thinking, this is what it'd be like to be in a Spanish church where there was English and Spanish translation. The sermon would go on a long time. That's kind of what I've been thinking tonight as we go through tonight. So now we're going to recognize the 5th grade beginning band students and their practice time. But before we do so, I want to first thank Spring Valley Academy for providing me the funding to be able to have an assistant this year. And I'd like to thank my assistant, Miss Elizabeth Procopio. I have a little token of my appreciation for her. So beginning band, when I call your name, go ahead and stand up, and Ms. Procopio will hand you a candy bar and a practice award certificate. I told you that middle school we were at $1,500 to receive this. My philosophy for beginning band for a beginning student is that they really need at least 120 minutes a week. I'd like 150, but I've kind of settled to 120 to be able to get a foundation and to make the progress they need to make it successful. So they needed 2,520 minutes to receive this award on a regular basis, turning practice on a regular basis. First person, Parker Arnold, followed by Seth Brohard, Mia Kambanzag, Megan Constantine, Garrett Johns, Emsley Lundy, Zaid McIntosh, you can sit down when you've received it, you can sit down. I'm just going to leave it with this. Crincy. Same thing here. Joyu. Come on up. Emily Sauser. And Brandon Wance. Also, I want to take the time to thank everyone for the gifts that I received me and my family received last Thursday night. From what I understand, they were presented to us at the high school band and choir concert, and they were from the entire band. It was some Cardinals Reds tickets, Bravo and Pasha Grill gift certificates, and a set of St. Louis Cardinal cufflinks. So I feel like I finally have arrived, that I'm getting St. Louis Cardinals gifts. I know that was really, really tough for this community to do for me, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Lastly, we need to call for an offering tonight. Our goal to end the year for the band and choir department to finish off the year is we need about $6,000 to finish where we need to be. My family, we've offered to donate $3,000 of that. If we can raise the other $3,000, I think we got about $400 in our offering Thursday night. I think our dinner tonight raised about $1,000. So if my math is correct, that's about $1,600 we're looking to raise tonight. $1,600. Also, if I did my math right, there's probably about 100 kids involved. If each family gave $20, that would be about $2,000 would we be there. So I ask you to consider to be generous. We'll take up an offering not during this song, but during the next song. So you have a song and a half to get ready. We will continue now.
We now take you south of the border, again with this engaging and tuneful piece written in mariachi style. Here is Mucho Mariachi. Ahora te llevamos nuevamente al sur de la frontera con esta pieza atractiva y melodiosa escrita al estilo mariachi. Aquí está Mucho Mariachi.
Buenas noches. My name is Shelly Maureen Perez de Chung. My dad is Cubano, Francisco Julián Pérez, and my mom is Puerto Riqueña, Carmen Mercedes Rosario de Pérez. They, like all good Spanish people, met in the Spanish church in Tacoma Park, Maryland, got married, had 3 kids, and when I was 11, they moved to Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. We lived there for about 10 years, and since then have been here in the United States. Tonight I have the honor of presenting Guantanamera, which translates into the girl from Guantanamo. This is perhaps the best known Cuban folk song and its most noted patriotic song, written by Joseito Fernandez, a popular Cuban radio host who would perform the song on his show and make up new verses each week based on current events. His chorus sings the praises of Guajira, a peasant woman from Guantánamo, Guantanamera. Guantanamera, que se traduce como la chica de Guantánamo, es quizás la canción popular y patriótica cubana más conocida mundialmente, escrita por Joseito Fernández, un popular presentador de radio cubano, que interpretaba la canción en su programa y creaba nuevos versos cada semana en base a los acontecimientos del momento. Su coro canta las alabanzas de una guajira campesina de Guantánamo, Guantanamera.
hope you are all enjoying our Latin fiesta. Espero que todos estén disfrutando de nuestra fiesta latina. And at this time, the choir department will also like to give some thanks and recognitions. First, I want to start with our musicians. Our piano accompanies Mrs. Sharon Braher. We thank you for all your great job with us. I'm going to ask you to come forward. Thank you for all of your hard work and for all you have been doing for us during this school year. We thank you. Thank you very much. I also want to thank Elizabeth Procopio for all of her support. Every concert and every rehearsal that we have a percussion part, she's always willing to help us, and we really appreciate all of your support and great job with the percussion. So thank you. So this has been a very, very good year, full of a lot of concerts from the beginning, with a 50s song concert, joint concert with the band, followed by the tasteful Christmas concert, choral concert K through 12. We also had a Ohio Conference Music Festival, and all the kids did a great job there. And I really, really, really appreciate all of your hard work, guys. And I want you to please stand and be recognized for all of what you have been doing during this school year. So please stand and be recognized. In appreciation and gratitude for all of your hard work during this school year, I have a choir pin for each one of you that you will be given today. And again, in appreciation and recognition of all of your hard work and all of what you guys have been doing during this school year. So thank you very much.
La Guantanamera takes me back to my childhood years. I remember driving in our station wagon down to Miami, which is practically like Cuba, if you've been, and hearing the music all over. We would stop to eat at a local Cuban restaurant and hear it playing over the sound system, or visit family for Christmas and sing and dance to the upbeat rhythm of Guantanamera. Guantanamera me lleva de nuevo a mis años de infancia. Recuerdo viajar en nuestra camioneta a Miami, que es como estar en Cuba, y escuchar esa canción por todas partes. Recuerdo que nos parábamos en cualquier restaurante cubano local y podíamos escucharla allí. Durante la Navidad o visitas a nuestra familia cantábamos y bailábamos el ritmo contagioso de Guantanamera.
Guantanamera,
Cantar, which means sing in Spanish, is a stylistically authentic salsa work for choir. The text is a combination of English and simple, repetitive Spanish phrases set to a rhythmically infectious melody. Here is Cantar.
Cantar es una pieza coral de salsa estilísticamente auténtica y creada para voces. El texto de esta obra musical es una combinación de frases simples y repetitivas en español, combinadas con una melodía rítmica, contagiosa y pegajosa. Con ustedes, Cantar.
Cantar una canción alegre, sing aleluya. Cantar una canción alegre, sing aleluya. Cantar, 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 con una voz cantar, 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 con una voz. Cantar una canción alegre, sing aleluya. Cantar una canción alegre, sing aleluya. Cantar, 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 con una voz cantar, 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 con una voz. Sing aleluya, aleluya, aleluya. Sing aleluya, aleluya, aleluya. Cantar una canción alegre, sing aleluya. Cantar una canción alegre, sing aleluya. Cantar, 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 con una voz cantar, 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 con una voz. Sing aleluya. Sing aleluya. Sing Cantar, 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 con una voz cantar, 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 con una voz. Sing aleluya, aleluya, aleluya. Sing aleluya, aleluya, aleluya. Sing aleluya, aleluya, aleluya. Sing aleluya, aleluya, aleluya.
The next song is a choral composition in the style of a Spanish folk song. The words sing of the strength and power we feel when we learn to work and walk together. The title, which means together, builds through Latin dance rhythms to a powerful expression of unity or unidad. El siguiente número musical es una composición coral al estilo hispano folclórico. Las letras de esta canción se basan en la fuerza y el poder que sentimos cuando aprendemos a trabajar y caminar juntos. El título, Juntos, se ve reflejado a través de los ritmos de la danza latina que hacen referencia a una poderosa expresión de unidad.
There is more than the eye can see. There is more than the heart can know. So much more than we can see.
The cumbia is a dance that originated in Colombia and dates from the 19th century. This traditional Colombian dance has rhythmic roots in the music of West Africa. It is still very popular today in many countries of Latin America. Each of them has its own cumbia style, but all are based on the original. Please enjoy Cumbia del Sol. La cumbia es un baile típico que se originó en Colombia en el siglo XIX. Esta danza tradicional colombiana tiene sus raíces históricas en la música de África Occidental. Hoy en día, la cumbia sigue siendo un baile muy popular en muchos países de Colombia, de América Latina, perdón. Y aunque cada uno tiene su estilo de cumbia, todos se basan en el estilo original y propio colombiano. Ahora los invito a disfrutar de Cumbia del Sol.
Written in tribute to a young musician who loved his Mexican musical heritage, Robert W. Smith's Fiesta de la Vida was inspired by the unique flavors of the mariachi culture, Fiesta a la Vida. Escrita en homenaje a un joven músico que amaba su herencia musical mexicana, Fiesta a la Vida de Robert W. Smith se inspiró en los sabores únicos y propios de la cultura mariachi. Fiesta a la Vida.
Aquarela do Brasil, known in the English-speaking world simply as Brazil, is one of the most famous Brazilian songs, written by Ari Barroso in 1939, when he was prevented from leaving his home one rainy night due to a heavy storm. Its title, a reference to watercolor painting, is a clear reference to the rain. The song only became famous after it was included in Walt Disney's 1942 animated film, Saludos Amigos. After that, the song became known not only in Brazil, but worldwide, becoming the first Brazilian song to be played over 1 million times on American radio. Here is Brazil. Aquarela do Brasil, conhecida no mundo anglo-saxão simplesmente como Brasil, é uma das mais famosas canções brasileiras, escrita por Ari Barroso em 1939, quando foi impedido de sair de casa em uma noite chuvosa devido a uma forte tempestade. Seu título, uma referência à pintura em aquarela, é uma referência clara à chuva. A música só ficou famosa depois que foi incluída no filme de animação de 1942 da Walt Disney, Saludos Amigos. Depois disso, a música se tornou conhecida não só no Brasil, mas em todo o mundo, tornando-se a primeira música brasileira a ser tocada mais de 1 milhão de vezes na rádio americana. Aqui é o Brasil.
Mambo is a style of lively music and dance that originated in Cuba in the 1930s and the 1940s. Perhaps the most influential mambo band leader was Pérez Prado, known as the King of the Mambo. He moved from Cuba to Mexico in 1949 and began recording mambos, many of which became known worldwide. By the 1950s, mambo music and dance had spread throughout American culture. And in 1961, composer Leonard Bernstein even included a mambo in the American musical West Side Story. Here is the Big Mambo, built around the 2+3 Afro-Cuban clave pattern. Mambo es un estilo de música y bailes vivos que se originó en Cuba en los años 1930 y 1940. El director de orquesta de mambo más influyente fue Pérez Prado, conocido como el Rey del Mambo. Él se mudó de Cuba a México en el 1949 y comenzó a grabar mambos, muchos de los cuales se hicieron conocidos en todo el mundo. En la década del 1950, la música y la danza del mambo se habían extendido por todos los Estados Unidos. En el 1961, el compositor Leonard Bernstein incluyó un mambo en el musical West Side Story. Con ustedes, The Big Mambo, basado en la clave rítmica afrocubana 2+3.
My grandparents were from Italy, Spain, and France, but my parents were both from Argentina. However, when my mother was pregnant with me, they were living as missionaries in Peru. They were living in La Unión Incaica in Lago Titicaca, which is very high elevation. So it's only fitting that I get to speak to you about Machu Picchu this evening. Machu Picchu is the site of the pre-Columbian Inca ruin, often referred to as the lost city of the Incas. It is situated on a mountain ridge 8,000 feet above the Urubamba Valley in Peru. American historian Hiram Bingham rediscovered the site and brought it to the attention of the world in 1911. Machu Picchu is now considered one of the 7 wonders of the modern world and is highly visited. It's a highly visited tourist destination. We now close the concert with Procession to Machu Picchu. Is written in a bolero style and brings to life visions of the Incas as they marched to the summit over 500 years. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for this Latin fiesta. El Machu Picchu es el sitio de una ruina inca precolombina, a menudo conocido como la ciudad perdida de los incas. Está situada en una cadena montañosa o 8.000 pies sobre el valle del Urubamba de Perú. El historiador estadounidense Hiram Bingham redescubrió el sitio llamando así también la atención mundial en el año 1911. Machu Picchu ahora se considera una de las 7 maravillas del mundo moderno y es un destino turístico muy popular. Ahora cerraremos el concierto con Procesión a Machu Picchu, el cual está escrito en estilo bolero y debido a las visiones de los incas cuando marcharon a la cima durante más de 500 años. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos en esta noche en nuestra fiesta latina.
Wow, thank you, students, for taking us on that awesome cultural musical journey. I'd like to thank all the narrators for participating. It's great to hear from, yeah, give them a hand. Great to hear from real live Latinas and Latinos taking us, for that little inside peek. The one thing I felt like we were missing from the program was hearing from a gringo who married into a Latin family. That's me. I am Swedish stock, very reserved folk, and somehow I ended up falling in love with, a Latin female, Argentinian Mexican, and it's my job to shut this thing down, so I won't be long. But I just want to say that, there are all kinds of strange and wonderful lessons you learn when you marry into another culture, but the one that sticks with me the most is the first time I went to a family gathering. My wife, she said, it's time, you need to meet the family, and so we went there on a Sabbath afternoon, big extended family, probably 35 people in a small house, and we walked in the door, and for the first time I meet them, and there they all are, and she says, "This is Darren," and immediately they rose as one and started moving toward me. And I am not kidding you, every single female in that crowd kissed me. It was a shocking experience for this guy. And, I'm looking over at Yvette, and she's just got this smirk on her face, and I just kept thinking, I always thought you'd be the first girl I kissed. But all kinds of interesting things. Her father would, every word that would start with Y, he'd say J instead of Y, and he knew I liked the New York Yankees, and so he'd say, "Do you like the Junkies?" And so I always used to joke about it when we weren't around him. And my wife, who you would think would try to make this transition easier, help ease everything. One day, again, Sabbath lunch, she turns to her father. I'm sitting right there, and she says, "Daddy, do you know Darren makes fun of the way you talk?" Anyway, just a little perspective from a gringo who married into a Latin family. Well, it's my job to close this down. I want to say a huge thanks to our music teachers. This is our final concert of the year, and man, they have taken us on such an incredible musical journey this year with musical tastes, and the way they've worked together this year and really taken a choir department and a band department and made it a music department. I just appreciate them so much. I really think that they're some of the best in the business at what they do, and I just want to say a huge thanks. We have a couple things to give you, if you could both come forward. Thank you so much for everything you do for our kids. You can tell how much appreciation there is here for you. We really love everything about what you do, so thank you so much. Let's bow our heads for prayer. Dear Lord, boy, our hearts are so big, and you've put songs in them, and you've given us voices to sing them and instruments to play them. Thank you for just putting so much beauty into our lives through music. Thank you for these teachers who give our students an outlet for their hearts through music. Thank you for all the support we have in this room for the performing arts at Spring Valley Academy. And most of all, thank you for touching our hearts and moving us through music. Thank you for all of these things, Lord. Thank you for this very blessed year and all the flavor it's added to our lives. Amen.